The extreme cold this past week has been tough on many, especially farmers and their livestock. Farmers brave the elements every day to make sure their equipment is operational and their animals are safe, watered, and fed. KGTC's Sarah Gannon spoke with a local beef farmer on how his herd stays warm during the coldest of winters. Sarah.
Well, Caitlin, Bill Queasley is a longtime beef and dairy farmer. His small operation is only beef cattle these days, but says for the most part, the cows don't mind the cold too much. It's the equipment that takes the biggest beating from the cold.
When it comes to preparing for a big drop in temperatures, like we've experienced this past week, beef farmer Bill Queasley says one thing that's done to help keep the cattle warm is making sure fresh bedding is down before the cold weather hits.
We don't like it as humans, but the cattle actually do better when it just stays in that sub-zero or sub-freezing level.
As it turns out, beef cattle don't mind the cold too much, but like humans, they learn to adapt when the seasons change.
I'm not going to say they don't get cold. I mean, they definitely get cold, but they do put on extra fat, and also their hair gets longer, which they shed come spring. So, you know, they do adapt to it.
Queasley says certain breeds of cattle, like Black Angus, tolerate the cold weather better than others, such as Holsteins. But really, it's the equipment that takes the hardest hit from the cold weather.
Diesels do not start in the cold, and the tractors and the skid steer, you always have them plugged in, but the diesel engines can be a pain. You get the gelling if you don't have the fuel mix right. Hydraulics are slower. It's just everything takes longer when it's this cold, and that's where it gives me a pain.
While Queasley's small operation gives him the ability to mix his feed up ahead of time and limit his time outside in the frigid weather, the negative temperatures still make for a tough day on the job.
This is nothing what I have to do compared to like the dairy farmers and the bigger beef farmers that have to be out every day and for hours upon end. It gets old, especially with fighting the equipment.
And while we may be looking forward to the warmer temperatures this week, Queasley says it's better for the cattle when temperatures stay rather consistent. Otherwise, if there's a lot of up and downs in temperatures, it makes the cattle more susceptible to getting sick. Chief Meteorologist Nick Jansen has the latest on our rising temperatures with your In Your Weather Authority forecast. Nick, over to you.